Great Flinders Netball now on the Friday night sports show, and it was a big grand final weekend in the Great Flinders Netball Association. Elizabeth Burns is on the line with me to tell me all about the action on grand final day. Welcome, Elizabeth. How are you?
Well, I think I'm still pumped from the weekend. It's a massive day, but gee, there were some, really spectacular games played, and it was just grand finals can be just so much emotion and so much great netball on the day. But I was definitely pleased to put my feet up at the end of it.
Very good. Well, by the looks of things, there was a fair bit of unpredictability and for some people probably a lot of stress on the day. So let's run through all the action. We'll start off in the A grade, and it was Elliston Districts claiming the premiership over Tumby Bay 46-39, extending the margin from the second semi a fortnight ago when Elliston won by 2 goals. So Tumby, they had a look at them a fortnight ago. They figured out what they needed to do, but they just couldn't quite execute and get on top on game day. So tell us about this win from Elliston.
Well, it was completely, in my mind, an unexpected game. When they matched up in the second semi, it was a very physical game. It was a lot of body work up and down the court, really tough defence, really a lot of attacking drive by both teams, and it was a high scoring game, and at times some pretty frantic netball. Yet during the grand final, it was almost the reverse. It was a very controlled game. There was a lot of possession netball played, still tight defence, but it was a lot more low-risk passing. And the game completely unfolded in a different way to what, I was anticipating. There were just some great matchups between the two teams up and down the court. Little Marty Masson, the wing defence for Tumby Bay, she was our under-21 winner this year. She played against the experienced Lorena Heberman from Elliston Districts, and they really worked hard through that mid-court to defend and to try and reduce Elliston's attacking drive. Tumby's defenders, Taryn Benke and Summer Cave, they were probably disrupted at the get-go because they were probably expecting different goalie combinations to step out in the court. But Elliston put Rosie Rom and Emerson O'Brien together in the ring, and so it did take Tumby a little bit to get into the game. So that first quarter, Elliston were up by 4, and it was probably goal accuracy that was sort of that main difference in that first quarter. The second quarter was a bit more nervous and fumbling to start, which you probably would have thought would happen in the first, but Tumby sort of increased their pressure and began to get a bit of momentum. And young gun Maisie Curtis, her long bombs are just extraordinary in the ring, and she started to get some of that shooting confidence. But Elliston's goalies worked out, so they were really starting to pull out the moves and driving to the ring. So by half-time, Elliston were up 25-19. There were quite a few changes at half-time. Ashley Cox from Tumby Bay came in and had a really tight tussle against Charlie Manane. Ilka Stone from Tumby, she sort of lifted that work rate in the Tumby Bay goal ring. But Elliston had sort of found their footing, found their rhythm, and were really quick to convert any turnovers, and so they led 36-27 at three-quarter time. And by that last quarter, I think even the spectators were feeling hot on behalf of the players, because it was a really unexpectedly warm day after such a long, wet winter, and so that last quarter was a cracker. It was goal for a while. There was some really exceptional passages of play, and sort of the netball that you want to see in a grand final was certainly being played out. But Elliston were just confident. Their defenders, Kelsey Hull and Nikki Schubert, were just amazing. And they sort of really kept that possessive netball and were able to convert. And Elliston Districts end up taking that game 46-39, and the association best and fairest winner for the A grade, Kelsey Hull, was best on court for the game with her just extraordinary defence work, and another season finished. So, great game, and I think there were some very tired bodies at the end of it.
All right, so season 2023 wraps up with Elliston on top, and a very thorough wrap there. Thank you for that, Elizabeth. And it wasn't the only premiership they won on the day. Let's take a look at the under-15s, because this might have actually been the event of the day. Elliston beat Tumby in this one by 2 goals, and for under-15s, 54-52 is a massive score, and this one actually went to overtime.
It did. This was undeniably the match of the day. The Elliston and Tumby matchups throughout the entire year have been really close. They've just both got some outstanding junior players. This is our D grade, our under-15s. These are some very talented players who will easily slide into seniors in the next couple of years up towards the top of those, talent levels. This game was just so close for the entire day. First quarter, there were only 2 goals in it. Elliston were up by 2. Tumby were just very consistent, tight from one end of the court to the other. By half-time, it was 29-25, still Elliston's way. By three-quarter time, an outsider would have thought that Elliston were going to sneak away comfortably. They were 39-34 at that three-quarter break, but Tumby had a fantastic comeback. Tumby's mid-court in particular, Adela Larwood, Lani Cox, Elkie Allen, they were just... they were workhorses through that mid-court, and they were so quick with any turnovers to pick them up and to get them down to their goalies. Their goalies had their eye in. Reve Curtis, whose sister Maisie played in the A-grade grand final. They both have this amazing talent of sinking these long bombs, and Tumby staged a huge comeback in that fourth quarter. The crowd were on their feet, that had actually started to bring spectators away from the football to come and see what was going on. And at the end of the fourth quarter, it was 46 all in a draw, which meant we went to 5 minutes each end in time on. And at the end of that, it was still a draw, and so they had to keep playing, and it was quite a warm day, so there were some pretty tired players out there. They had to keep playing until one team was up by 2, and it was just seesawing backwards and forwards. Ruby Baker and Bria Feltus were the goalies for Elliston Districts, and such young players, they just didn't lose their cool. They were consistent. The defenders, really stepped up. Miley Agars and Megan Carey played awesomely in goal defence and goalkeeper. Tumby Bay had some great play as well. Sadie Curtis in goal defence was incredible, and it just came down to Elliston were 1 goal up, and then Tumby Bay unfortunately missed a goal. The ball went to the other end, and Elliston took that goal, and that put them in front and won the game. Just an amazing display of young sportsmanship out there. And just such a tight game, and I think everybody was tired watching, but those players, they certainly deserved an early night that night. It was just definitely match of the day, and congratulations to the coaching sides and those players for bringing that on grand final day when it really mattered.
Wow, what a game in the under-15. Some of the stars of the future, no doubt a lot of them will be playing A-grade. We're almost out of time, Elizabeth, but we'll just run through the other premiers quickly as well. So in the A reserves, it was Elliston again, so their third flag for the day. They beat Lock 43-34. Was there a best on court for that one?
Yep, best on court was Jessica Bascom, who was also our association best and fairest for that grade as well. Did an awesome job in that game, and she's one of the Elliston goal shooters. In our B grade, Lock took on Tumby Bay. This was the tightest grade across our entire competition. There were only 4 wins separating the top 4 on the ladder starting finals. Scores were tied at half time, and Lock were up at three-quarter time and then went on to win, and Georgia Crossman for Lock was the best for the B grade. In our B reserves, Air United led from the start and were strong for the whole day. Their goalies, really had their eye in, and they had great defence. And Nairi Bailey from Air United was best on there, and they went to win. I think it was 29-24. And then our last game was our juniors, our 13s. Which is our E grade, and Tumby Bay were undefeated all year, and they were just so dominant on the day. It was I think it was 4-1 in the first 9 minutes of the game with Tumby Bay up, and then Tumby just sort of settled and relaxed. It's the first time a lot of those players had ever played finals, especially a grand final, and Tumby Bay ran out winners 42-7, so a fairly convincing score, and the best on court was Skylar Modra from Tumby Bay. So, yeah, it's just an awesome day, and like I said, I still think I'm feeling a bit puffed.
Well, it sounds like it was a big day, lots of action there, and congratulations to all those teams for winning those premierships. And now it's time to enjoy the off-season, and if you were one of those premiers, time to, well, enjoy the premiership celebrations leading into the off-season. Elizabeth, thank you very much for that wrap-up, and thank you very much for joining us every week on the Friday Night Sports Show. Great hearing about all the players every week and about all the winners. So we look forward to hopefully having you back next winter.
That sounds great. My pleasure.